Hey y'all, good to see you again here on Grassroots Gardening. I'm Ryan, and here on this channel we discuss all things plants and gardening, landscaping, what have you. In today's video, I'm going to show you guys how to start off contorting a Japanese maple. So this is going to be like an adult bonsai kind of formation over the next few years. They're really fun to do, really easy to do, so check this video out, hit that like and subscribe. Let's go get to work. So over here on our little potting bench, we have got three Acer palmatum, which is just the botanical name for Japanese maple. This particular variety is called Firefall. Has a really pretty red leaf. The more sun it gets, like this guy here, was evidently in a little bit more sun in the nursery, but just a beautiful garnet red dissectum, which means it has these serrated leaf edges. So this is a weeping dissectum Japanese maple called Firefall again, and just a beautiful, beautiful deciduous tree. But these are some liners I ordered. You can see they're high graft. So the grafter, whoever I bought these from, I believe it was out in Oregon, has taken a regular rootstock of Acer palmatum and then the beautiful red leaf Firefall variety. He snipped off a piece of that and has grafted it up high on the rootstock, forming a high graft. So anything that grows out of the rootstock, like this is a good example right here, we want to remove that because that is just going to be a regular old green leaf Japanese maple, and we're after this pretty dissectum red leaf. So we're going to rip that off. But what we're going to do is take some bamboo stakes, shove them down in the pot. We're going to use our new tapener that we ordered off Amazon. And by the way, I'll put a link to any of the products that I used today in the description section below. And we're going to take that tapener and just see how far we can bend and contort this Japanese maple just to make a really cool specimen plant for a container or for the yard. Now this guy, he is already like trying to contort himself. Like I said, these are weeping Japanese maples, so their natural growth habit is going to be to grow downwards. That's kind of their special attribute. And so he's already starting to do that. Now we just got to kind of figure out what we want to try to make him do. I think since this leader is already so long and growing down, let's go ahead and see if we can just make him do a complete flip and a circle, and we'll probably just maybe even tape him to himself back down here. Now, I think this one might be a good candidate for some bonsai wire, because I could feel the tension as I'm really bending him back around like this. That's going to be a lot of tension, and that tape may not hold, it may break and let him loose, and we really need to make sure that it holds. And these have got a little thinner of a pencil caliper, so they're very flexible. Obviously, the older the tree gets, the harder this is to do. So these are just some 1-year-old grafts, and now is the prime time to contort these things and make them do whatever it is that we want to do. Now, some people are going to say this is like a travesty. You're not supposed to do that to Japanese maples. Well, you know what? The thing about plants and gardening, this is my Japanese maple. I can do whatever I want with it. I don't care if we're going against some ancient Japanese culture. I respect the whole bonsai community, love it, it's beautiful, but I think you should have the freedom to do whatever you want with your plants. And so we're going to make these do some pretty funky things. So let's take him, let's see if we can go ahead and bend him on around. You just kind of got to feel the limit and know when it's going to snap, because we don't want that to happen. I'm really kind of paying attention to this graft area to make sure we don't ungraft him, because that would be death for him. But as soon as I feel like I can't bend him anymore without snapping, I'm going to take my bonsai wire and I'm going to twist it around the trunk first with a couple of wraps. This won't hurt the tree as long as we remove it in probably the next 6 months, because then the bark's going to start growing into, or the wire will actually start growing into the bark, and then it'll choke the tree eventually, so we don't want that. But we're going to wrap it around the trunk, and then I'm going to come up here and wrap it around the upper portion of the tree. We're just going to give it a few wraps, just like so. And there you go. Simple as that. Now, that's going to look really unusual for a little while. So what we're going to do is we're going to continuously train this thing to do what we want it to do. You could even take this, you could come out here, and you could do another loop. I mean, it's really limitless, and it's really up to your imagination, you know, what you could create with these things. But it just gives a really cool visual, just a unique specimen plant. I think it would really look good in a container and just kind of a cool conversation piece. And it really is similar to bonsai, but without all the constant maintenance and the little bitty pot. So you could pot this up into a larger pot and it would just be, you know, kind of take care of itself after a while, but still look really cool. Now we could go ahead and take it one step further while we're messing with this one particular maple, and we could take some of these. We got like two, hopefully you guys can see that, we've got like two leading branches coming out of the top of the tree. So we could go ahead and take one of those and drive or shove a bamboo stake into the pot, and then we can take one of the limbs and go this way. We'll drive another stake over here on this side of the pot, and we'll take another limb and go that way, and just really see how funky we can get this thing. So we'll just take these is really flexible, this end growing tip right here. So you could try to do something a little bit funky with it. I think we'll just kind of bend him over and get the main stem up against the bamboo. And we're going to take our tapener, and we do just one kind of soft click that grabs the tape, you can see there, and then we simply go around it and give it a hard click, and it staples the tape and cuts it. Now I'm not going to let go of my thumb just yet, because I want to do one more right here on this lower one, just to kind of support it. Isn't that cool? That is a neat little tool, and it also works really good with doing tomatoes to stakes as well. But you see how we just took that 1 liter and went over here. Now we're going to come around to the other side and kind of do the same thing. And I don't know what this thing is going to turn out. We kind of got to let this contortion harden a little bit, kind of grow out, and take that shape and hold that shape, and then we can continue with our contortion in whichever form we want to after that. But this will probably take a couple of months to harden in the shape that we've put it. So we'll have to come back later, and this is one of those evolving type projects. So we'll just go ahead and shove us another bamboo stake all the way down to the bottom of the pot. And you know what I think I'm going to do with this one, guys? We're going to go ahead and twist him around the bamboo stake. That'll look pretty neat, huh? So we'll give one little click, and then a hard click to staple and cut it. And sometimes you get leaves in this process, but don't sweat it. And we're going to come down here and add one at the bottom, and that should hold it. I like that. Now we may have to get, let's tell you what, let's go ahead and put one more, because it's kind of trying to unfurl. And what we need to do is a soft click and go right around the bamboo pretty tight to kind of hold that spiral, to hold that curl. But see how we've got it wrapped around the bamboo? That's going to look pretty dang cool. And then we've got these other two. I'm not exactly sure what we're going to do with them. There's not a tremendous amount. What we may try to do with this guy is just do like an S turn. So just kind of give him a crooked spine, because I don't think we can make it all the way around without breaking this guy. And the mosquitoes are eating me alive over here in our shady little nook. So we've got to spray us some cutter on before we get carried off. Mosquitoes absolutely love my blood type. So there is our finished, for now, Japanese maple, our firefall. So I'm going to put him back around in the nursery here in a minute, but right now let's go see what else we can do with these other two guys. Okay, like I said, I think with this dude, I'm just going to drive the bamboo stake maybe an inch or so away, all the way down to the bottom of the pot. And we're just going to try to do an S with him. So we're just going to push him down and not break him. Just something real simple like that. We're going to have to do these pieces of tape pretty tight because it's got a lot of pressure on it from us just pushing him down like a spring. So we're going to put quite a few pieces of tape. You can even go over the older pieces, and still wanting to slide up. So let's push him back down and just add some more tape. Love this tape gun, but I think we just ran out of staples. All right, let me go get some more staples. All right, true to form, I have lost the staples. I lose everything, y'all. It drives me insane. But in hindsight, I think our bonsai wire probably will do a better job anyway, because this thing has got quite a bit of tension. And hopefully y'all can see that cool curve that we're making. So what we're gonna do is just come around the bamboo first with maybe 2 wraps. And then, this is where you need 3 or 4 hands. We're gonna hold tension on the Japanese maple and go ahead and just come right around that stem. I'm not wrapping this too tight to where we choke the Japanese maple, but that works much better. So it was good that I couldn't find the staples. So now we can even push down. Now that he's wrapped, we can slide him through and create just even a more curve. I can't go too much more because let me show you guys. I just potted these up back in the wintertime, so the root ball has not formed in the entire 1 gallon container. And you see how it's kind of bending and pushing up the root ball. So I can't bend him any more than that. And I think what we'll do eventually, after this hardens, we'll take this guy and we'll come on over and we'll just keep snaking him. And then can you imagine how cool this is gonna look, y'all, in a few years when the caliper gets bigger and it just looks like, I hate to say snake because I hate snakes, but that's what it's gonna look like. It's gonna look so awesome and just really be a cool focal point and just a really neat specimen plant. Okay, and for our third and final trick, this guy here, I went ahead and was just kind of playing and seeing which way he's gonna bend. And he's gonna bend easier this way. So I went ahead and took the bamboo stake and put him on that side of the pot. So now we're just gonna simply take and bend him down. I think we're just gonna do one hard bend and make him like reach towards the ground. And I'm gonna do a little smarter this time and go ahead and wrap my wire around about where I think we're gonna actually tie him. And we're just gonna take him gently, bend him down towards that direction. I'm gonna take our bonsai wire and go ahead and wrap it around him. It doesn't really matter how you fasten it, just as long as it holds. And you could even take the wire, go back around. Let me show you guys what I'm doing here. You could even take the wire and go back around the stem just to really hold that pose, if you will. And that's as simple as it gets right there, folks. And it's just a neat way to make a really interesting plant piece. So here are our 3. And that one just slid up the bamboo pole. Actually, you know what? He lifted our bamboo up a little bit. So these are super dry right now too. I need to water them. That's another reason that bamboo is wanting to kind of slide up out of the dirt, but I think it's going to be fine right there as long as we can hold somewhat of that pose. There's the second one that we did, and then there's our super crazy first one that we did. So before the mosquitoes carry me away, I'm going to go ahead and say thanks guys for watching. Leave me a comment below of something you want to see. Hit that like and subscribe and the little bell down there for me too. That'll notify you when I put out more videos, because we've got a ton of gardening content still to come. We're going to do a lot down at the nursery. The driveway's coming along nice. We've got these huge beds out here behind me. Just we're going to garden our faces off this year. So appreciate you. Thank you so much. See you on the next video. Oh, and forget, don't forget. The more you know, the more you grow. See you guys.